Okay, question 5. Two photographers offer different pricing plans for their services. The graph below models the prices photographer A charges. The table below shows the prices photographer B charges. So this is the model for photographer A, and here is the table for photographer B and their charges. Each photographer charges a one-time equipment fee and an hourly rate. All right. So the question asks, which statement about the two pricing plans is true? So now we're looking at things which talks about the pricing plans, which is in terms about the how much is being charged per hour, and also it's talking about the equipment fees. So we have a few things going on here. There's a lot of different layers, but we got this. We can handle it. So let me give you some hints. And here is hint 1. Okay, to start, for hint 1, we need to know what's going on in here and what things are being represented here for that we could use it to answer this mathematically. So it says here, the table below shows the prices that photographer B charges and photographer A. But now it says each photographer charges a one-time equipment fee. The one-time equipment fee is the same thing as saying B or the y-intercept. It's a one-time fee, and it's going to be just something that happens just one time, right? Meanwhile, the hourly rate, it's like a rate of change, that is your slope, right? And that slope is usually being multiplied. Let me make this better. That slope is usually being multiplied to a number, right? So the slope, is being multiplied to x. All right. So let's just find out which is which, but that's hint number 1. Hint number 2. Now what you're going to work on is finding the slope and the y-intercept from the graph, and you have to also find it from the table. But let's go with the graph first. So to do this one, we're now going to find. We need to find the slope. We need to find the y-intercept. So we should be able to find the slope. Now we should know how to do this already by looking at the graph. But the one thing we have to be clear on, if you take a look at the x values are increasing by 1, meaning it goes from 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is increasing by 1. But even before that, let's go and talk about this real quick. I know it says t here, but t, which is time, is the same, being represented by x. And the p represents the price or the cost that it's going to be. That is going to be your y, right? So now, if we have this as your y, this is your x is increasing by 1. Meanwhile, your y is increasing by 25. Excuse me. So every time that I'm going like this, every time I go up from here to here, I'm going 25. If I had to go from here to here, that means I'm going 25, 50, 75. So keep that in mind as you're doing that for the graph. And that's hint number 1. Hint number 2. Hint number 3, now we're looking at photographer B. And for photographer B, now what we're given are the prices. This is like we're looking at your X values and your Y values here, right? But we're only given just the coordinates. Remember, we have to use now the points in order for us to write an equation. So what you first have to do is get the slope formula so you can find the slope, right? Let's put it in this color, right? So you have to find the slope. And remember, to find the slope, you have to use y2 minus y1 divided by x2 divided by x1. That's what you would have to do to find the slope. The y-intercept, to find the y-intercept, remember, we have to do a little bit more math for this one. So you have to now use y is equal to mx plus b, all right, in order for you to find it, all right? So there you go. Use that as your guides to help you. That's your third hint. This is a bit of a challenge, but I think you can do it, and I know you have it in you, all right? So go at it, work at it. Good luck with it. Do well.